I'd like to put some historic perspectives on this. Skip was born in 1902. When he was 29 years old, 1931, he went from Mississippi up to Grafton, Wisconsin, and he made 9 songs. And he didn't record again the 1930s and 40s and 50s, and the years went by. And then in 1964, they found him sick in a Tunica hospital, and they brought him to the Newport Folk Festival, which was all young white people. Skip had recorded in 1931, and after a 33-year hole of time, he was brought to Newport, and I was there. And I can tell you, it was one of the most mystical. Nobody knew what this man sounded like. There were some scratchy 78s, and we didn't know anything about him. He had recorded at the age of 29, and now he was in his 60s. And he was sitting down, and we were going to hear him play for the very first time, and it was magical. And he touched the strings, and he said, "I'd rather be the devil than to be that woman's man." And so we said, that's it. That's the Bentonia style. Now we thought that Skip was the only player in that style. And a few years later, well, actually many years later, in the 1980s, I found a man named Jack Owens, who had been born about Skip's time, 1903, 1904, and he played the same songs. Cherry Ball, I'd Rather Be the Devil, same songs. So Skip wasn't an isolated musician, there was a Bentonia style. So we thought there were 2. Then many years later, Jimmy Holmes, Duck Holmes, also plays in that style. So I want you to realize the importance that Jimmy Holmes, Duck Holmes, has on the international blues circuit. He's an important dude. In other words, people from England to Australia, when they talk about the Bentonia style of music, they're talking Jimmy Holmes, because he's the only one who plays it now. Now, talking about Skip, it's easy to talk about somebody who was pleasant and sweet and likable, but I gotta tell you, most of the time, Skip could be a real pain in the ass. He was very difficult to work with because he had his own mind and his own way of doing things. He had no small amount of ego, and he was great, and he knew he was great. I was talking last year to the great English rock star Eric Clapton, and I brought him back a memory of 1967. 1967, I introduced Skip James to Eric Clapton, and I said, "Skip, Eric is in a group called Cream, and he recorded your song, I'm So Glad, and you're making royalty monies on it." So Skip was fine, and Skip took the guitar and played his version of I'm So Glad, and he nailed it. He just hammered that song. And there were just the 3 of us in the room. So he finished the song, and he offered the guitar to Clapton, and he said, "Now you play it." And Clapton said, "No way." 1967. 43 years later, last year, I said to Eric, "Do you remember when Skip played I'm So Glad?" And you said it scared the hell out of me. He played I'm So Glad and handed the guitar to me as if I was going to play it, which of course he wasn't. Skip was a man of great talent, and he never reached much commercial success in his lifetime, but the amount of people that he influenced, the foreign guitarists that he influenced, have brought forth a legacy of Skip James and of the Bentonia style. I'm pleased and I'm honored to be here to bring recognition and acclaim to Skip James, definitely one of the greatest, most influential guitarists ever to come from Mississippi. Thank you.